This week, South Africa's justice system faced a seismic reckoning. Advocate Motau resigns from the Madlanga Commission, citing budget chaos and political interference, I say. Explosive WhatsApp messages between Kat Matlala and Mr. Mokgotsi suggest deep cartel ties to the ANC structures. Lieutenant General Khumalo mysteriously falls ill before testifying. Former Police Minister commissionMthethwa dies in Paris days after being named. Is it a suicide? Is it a silencing? Kat Molefe is accused of orchestrating high-profile assassinations. Appeal is denied bail. Meanwhile, Mandela is detained by Israeli forces during a humanitarian mission to Gaza, and Julius Malema is found guilty of unlawful discharging a firearm. A verdict that could reshape Parliament. Dive into Through the Courts this week, where power, corruption, and justice collide. It was supposed to be the commission that cleaned house, exposed criminal cartels embedded in our justice system. But just weeks in, Advocate Motau steps down as chief evidence leader. His reason? Budget chaos and administrative dysfunction.
I was conscious of the fact that this is a different task. I call these matters love for country matters, where it's not about remuneration, it's about contributing and bringing your expertise on board to assist the country in finding solutions.
Much of the speculation since you made your decision public has been about internal cracks within the setup of the commission. What you are positing here sounds more like administrative issues. Surely those are not insurmountable, again, in the context of how pivotal this commission is for this democracy.
Bongani, when you come on board, you come to contribute to your expertise, your knowledge in the process. And let me give you perhaps...
Did you feel undermined? I mean, just out with it. You're a good lawyer.
Let me.
You know how this goes.
No, I'm
Were you
quite aware.
undermined? Did you feel undermined? Did you feel that your expertise, your voice, wasn't being heard?
Bongani, let me put it in its context in terms of the issue that I'm raising about the importance of a budget. The importance of a budget impacts how you allocate tasks, who you allocate tasks to. And just a practical example, to avoid running out of budget when you know what has happened in previous commissions, if you know how much is allocated, for example, to the evidence leaders, then it determines whether when the first consultations with witnesses occur, are those done by junior counsel within the team who will produce first draft statements and then senior counsel only get involved later, or you consult with witnesses, i.e. being silks and juniors at the same time.
Whilst we're having this conversation,
yes,
in terms of your experience, it obviously has wider implications about how the work of this commission will unfold.
Yeah.
If you then, having relinquished such an important position, such a key role, because of those misgivings, it surely then suggests that those won't go away just because you have.
Perhaps other people look at it differently. You know, perhaps other people are able to do the function without the information that was needed. And I suppose that's why people are continuing.
Will we meet those timelines you outlined in that opening statement that the president promised the nation?
Well, on account of my departure, there won't be any disruption. And
based on what you know,
yes,
and your concerns, how confident are you that those timelines, in the context of what you've just told me, where there's not much clarity about who gets what and how these processes, the T's and C's, will work? Will it do its work in time?
I hope so.
So the key factors here are, this is a love for country matter, he says. Says this is not about money. He says he didn't resign for money. However, he states 147 million budget is deemed insufficient for the task at hand. He then further indicates that there's no clear allocation for legal teams, IT, or investigators, amongst many other things he's raised as concerns and reasons for his departure. Motau's resignation wasn't just a personal change, it's a warning. Without transparency, even the most well-intentioned commissions risk becoming toothless. Just as Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo was to testify, he fell mysteriously ill at the very same commission. But the commission had already received damning WhatsApp messages implicating ANC-linked figures in police interference. WhatsApp messages highlighted Vusmuzi Cat Matlala allegedly funded ANC events via Brown Mokgotsi. Mokgotsi texted him about dismantling the political killings task team. References to Police Minister Senzo Mkhunu and Deputy Commissioner Sibia. These SMSs or WhatsApp text messages were damning. They are digital fingerprints, and they suggest a coordinated effort to protect criminal networks from within.
Next 4 messages, starting with when are you available? I'm in Mafikeng. The next one, meaning in Joburg. The next one, are you in Joburg or you in Joburg? Those are messages that are suggesting that there was an attempt to set up a meeting between the two.
And those messages begin, when are you available, begins 25 December 2024, 8:47. And the response by Mr. Mokgotsi, I'm in Mafeking, is the same day at 9:15. The next message, meaning in Joburg, is at 9:15, immediately after the previous one. Followed by, on the same day, the message from Mr. Matlala saying, you in Joburg, and that's at 9:15. And then if we turn to page 6, Mr. Mokgotsi responds, same day, 9:16, no. Okay, and then can you take it from there?
Then the next message from Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala to Mr. Brown Mokgotsi on the 25th of December 2024 at 9:16. It reads thus, let me know when you back and the banks open tomorrow. I will settle that deposit thing and the rest we'll discuss whenever you are available. According to our analysis of the chart, it relates to the lists of 3 items that were shared between the two the same day in the morning, the same day, the 25th of December 2024 at 8:42.
Thank you. You can continue with the chats.
It can't be all 3 things. Can it possibly be 1 and 2, or is it about 3 only?
Apologies, Commissioners. It refers to number 3 of the list sent.
24 December 2024 at 14:05. And then another call from Mr. Mokgotsi, 24 December 2024 at 23:03. And then a message on 25 December 2024. Can you take it from there?
Thank you, Commissioners. And then the first message then from Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala to Mr. Brown Mokgotsi on the 25th of December 2024
at 6:17.
6:17.
Yes.
Morning, my brother. Did you call by mistake last night? Then followed by the message from Brown Mokgotsi to Vusimuzi Matlala on the same date, 25th of December 2024 at 8:42, with the message reading as follows: good day, bro. I believe it was a missed dial. Sorry, it's a response to the previous message. And then there are 3 items that are sent by Mr. Brown Mokgotsi, the first one being IPIT, the second one being the court case date, as well as the 25% we may lose ACOM and flight packages. The first two, according to our analysis, are referring to the two subject matters that we have heard or seen on the preceding pages.
And the third?
The third is talking to the theme, sub-theme that we are still going to unpack as we move forward. The 25% we may lose ACOM and flight packages.
So what you're looking at is text messages between Brown Mokgotsi and Vusimuzi Matlala, asking Vusimuzi Matlala to make a deposit, a 25% deposit to a cruise and a holiday to somewhere, requiring 143,000 rand deposit. Can you imagine 143,000 deposit for a cruise? Right? And first of all, why is Kat Matlala the person who's paying for it? It makes you wonder what is the extent of the agreement between these parties that yes, we're gonna coordinate that you get the tenders, and in return, you're gonna be paying for my holiday. I don't mean to laugh. I mean, I really do apologize for laughing, but I just want to understand. I'd like to understand. In fact, I don't understand why at this point in time they haven't done a Section 77 assessment on Kat Matlala. The same thing that they did on what's his name now? Nandipha Magudumana's boyfriend. Initially, when he was arrested as the Facebook, there was an assessment that was done by a psychologist regarding his mental state. I wonder why this has not happened for Kat Matlala. I'm curious to find out why is it that we don't have the same type of an assessment for Kat Matlala. Here's a look at something that I recently discovered.
2015 stands out from all the rest. In 2015, he was arrested for hijacking and being in possession of stolen items. ENCA has since established that among his accomplices was none other than the infamous Vusimuzi Kat Matlala. But that case was withdrawn in 2021, and the exact reasons are still unclear. The SAPS wouldn't be drawn on the Matlala link and offered this response. Police can confirm that a case of possession of suspected stolen goods was opened at Silverton Police Station and 4 suspects were arrested. The case has since been withdrawn in court. A suspected cash van robber's historical link to the attempted murder accused Matlala is intriguing. SAPS Crime Intelligence Head Dumisani Khumalo this week named the tender tycoon as a member of the Big Five drug cartel.
Amongst these cartels, which are made up of different syndicates, there is one identified in the country known as Big Five, which have since been identified as being very sophisticated, and it has got widespread influence, and it's involved in a broad spectrum of their illicit activities.
Khumalo mentioned cash and transit robberies as one of the syndicates linked to the cartel.
Here's my take on Kat Matlala. And I am no psychologist, right? I'm no psychiatrist either. I've just been in the legal space for a while, and I've been exposed to certain types of criminals. First of all, my take on Kat is that Kat Matlala is the muscle of the cartel. So he's the guy that they call when they need to get rid of somebody or somebody is creating havoc. Hence you see the elaborate unaliving of Babita. Hence you see the attempted unaliving of Tebogo Tobajani. Hence you see DJ somebody. You see his signature style. You see how he does what he does. And in fact, I will put it to you that this guy is almost the Picasso of what he does, if you understand the allegory that I'm trying to make. I want you to understand that he's in top form with regards to executing the type of attacks that he does in the particular way that he does it, right? You see him, his style is very elaborate, right? And the other reason I think he's being shoved down our throats, we are seeing every court appearance, every prominent newspaper, every prominent newsroom is you know, they're definitely paying attention to Cat Matlala, making sure that we understand who Cat Matlala is, making sure that we understand the crimes or the alleged crimes that he's committed, is because Cat is the fall guy. Cat is not the mastermind. Cat is the muscle. You see him, you see the elaborate ways he goes about doing the things that he does, and he's in peak form. I mean, you can see even in the insert that I just showed you, it's hectic, but it's his style. He's flamboyant in the way that he does that. You know, he likes a lot of pow pow and a lot of bullets. He's flamboyant, so he's got a signature style, right? And he's the fall guy. He's not the mastermind. There are people, I'm going to say this again, there are people whom we are not seeing them. We're not seeing them in court. We're not seeing Maumela in court. Maumela was in court on the 25th of September. It was not covered. Nowhere are you seeing him. We don't have pictures of this guy. And again, I'm going to put it to you. It's because this guy has got affiliations to the people that own the bank of Guinan Richards there at Palapala Farm. That's why. This guy is not our guy. He is not our guy. Again, with NaThiMthethwa. First of all, people are trying to make a connection to Cat and NaThiMthethwa. The style in which whatever happened to Mr. Mthethwa happened is not in alignment with the way Cat would do things. Cat is flamboyant. He will not, even his team, even the people that he works with, will never deviate from the way that they normally do things. So this is very much unlike Cat. It's not Cat. Two, I do believe, and I suspect, and you will tell me, Mr. Mthethwa, he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the fall guy. Watch how Mr. Mthethwa is going to be the fall guy, because days after being named at the commission by Mr. Mkonazi, former Minister NaThiMthethwa was found unalived in Paris. You know, and it's very weird. It's very weird. They're saying he did it himself, but you know, it's not making sense how he would have done it himself. Was this a tragic coincidence or the cost of being named? The Commission's revelations are starting to feel very dangerous.
In KZN now, where the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal is visiting the family of the late Ambassador NaThiMthethwa in Kwambonambi on the north coast. Mthethwa, a diplomat and senior party member, recently passed away in a hotel in Paris. During his career, he held several key cabinet positions. For more on this now, let's chat to Nonjabulo Makamo, who's in Kwambonambi for us this hour. So, Nonjabulo, yesterday we heard from the family when we had that conversation with you, and today we understand that the ANC leadership is expected to
got the second arrest, but we've got, if we can consolidate the murders with the conspiracies to murders, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, and you say the Vereniging one is not in this.
There are 3 murders. Okay? There are 3 murders in this one. The Vereniging one is a separate indictment, which is the judgment of Judge Ledwaba emanating in the Vereniging court. But why I said there were 4 is that it's intended these indictments be consolidated into one trial.
Yes, yes. But I've still got one. I've still got one too many.
Well, there's,
If we look at, again, paragraph 5, so we've got Sefoka is one.
yeah, you forget for the moment
can-
the conspiracy, although I don't
No,
say
no.
it's not there, but
Yes, no,
count 2 is murder of Sefoka.
Yes,
That's DJ
yes.
somebody.
So I'm saying if we bracket the two, so counts 1 and count 2 are together. So
Yeah.
if we just look at the names of the deceased, so we've got Sefoka's 1,
And then,
Mkena's 2,
and 4,
Mayeza's 3, and Butelezi's 4. And then we've got Vereniging, which is 5.
yes, no, you're quite right.
Yeah,
No, you're quite right. So it's not 4, it's 5.
it's 5. Yeah.
But the point I was
Yes.
making,
Did you catch that? The attorney trying to reduce the charges from 5 to 3 inadvertently. Look, lawyers sell their time and they sell their expertise. So I hold nothing against any attorney who's doing their job and getting paid to do, because really it's a job that somebody has to do and it is what it is. But my whole thing with Katiso Molefe is that he's, well, alleged to be one of the big 5 or one of the heads of the big 5 cartel. He's fighting to stay out of jail. His bail is denied, and then this is the appeal. This is him appealing. He's accused of orchestrating multiple murders, including that of DJ Somebody. He's linked to Kat Matlala and Brown Mokhotsi in the commission's testimony. He's now appealing in the Johannesburg High Court because he wants to be out in the streets doing what, my guy? What is it that you want to be doing out in the streets? Molefe's case is a test. Can our courts hold powerful syndicates accountable, or will influence win again? So we need to watch this particular matter very closely, because like 5, this guy is accused of 5 murders, separate murders, right? And somehow he thinks, you know, he's not a flight risk and he must come out of jail. He must be among us, during the people. I don't even understand what's going on in this guy's head. But again, I feel like a Section 77 assessment needs to be done on these two, particularly on Kat Matlala. I'm very interested in what's going on with him in his head. But even with Katiso Molefe, I think they need to do a Section 77 assessment with regard to, are these people well in their head? What's happening? What's happening? The next case that was in court is the Julius Malema matter. Julius Malema has been found guilty of unlawfully discharging a firearm at a 2018 rally. The political consequences could be seismic. He faces up to 15 years in prison. If he's sentenced to more than 12 months without a fine, he will be barred from parliament. And he's claiming that he's being targeted. So now here's the thing about this guy. This guy is controversial. And one of the other things that he's been to court for is singing that song, the Peter Mokaba song. So this song, the first time I came to know the song, I was a kid, I was a child. I think I was like in grade 1, or like Peter Mokaba was still very much alive. And I was like one of the first few kids, you know, to attend a multiracial school at the time. So one of the older kids, so the previous night, Peter Mokaba had been on the news singing this particular song. Julius Malema came out and sang the song, and then subsequently in court he said he was saying KISS, K-I-S-S, but the song, that's not what the song says. So we're at school, we're like these little grade 1s, and I think this grade 4 kid, boy, black, is singing this song at school. And the other kids are like singing with him. But obviously he's a kid, he doesn't understand what it is that we're saying. And we are surrounded by white teachers, and there's this child who's singing this song. And I remember one of the teachers, I don't even remember what the teacher said to him, because we were like small kids and we thought it was cool. We actually didn't even understand what the song meant. So here's Julius Malema again now in court. This could have an effect on Parliament. He believes that he's being charged, or he believes that he's being targeted. My whole thing with this is, why is his co-accused not being sentenced? Why is his co-accused not facing the same consequence as him? which is basically the basis of his argument, which is stating that if I'm going to be found guilty, the same person who was doing the same exact thing that I was doing must also just face the same consequence as myself, which is what I believe as well. And two, why is this sentencing why did it take so long for them to come up with the sentencing? Why would it take for such a long time for them to come up with the sentencing is beyond me. I mean, what do they need? They need social workers to make recommendations, and why is the other guy not facing the same consequence as Julius Malema? That is my question. But here we go. Listen to what Julius is saying.
You may be seated. Mr. Malema, the matter is postponed to the 23rd of January for the pre-sentence reports. Now, in this regard, I want to place on record, I am not sure as to whether the defense, being Advocate Doders and yourself, will be reading evidence or calling witnesses in that regard, and then the state to address. So, depending on how much time is utilized in that process, I cannot say sentence will be pronounced on the same day. It depends on what you will be presenting before court on that day. Therefore, bail extended, warned 9 o'clock to proceed, 23 January 2026.
What a week. Motau's resignation, WhatsApp leaks, Mthethwa's death, Molefe's bail, Malema's conviction, 5 stories, 1 week. Coincidence or convergence? Syndicate links between Molefe, Matlala, Mokgotsi. Political shielding from Mthethwa, Mqunu's Bia. Judicial pressure mounting across multiple fronts. This week, the court weren't just places of justice, they were arenas of truth, fear, and reckoning. And the question remains, who's pulling the strings? Please click subscribe, like, share, and we will see you next time.